Photos taken from protests 10 years ago live to tell the story of unrest following the arrest and death of Freddie Gray.
Now, some of those images currently on display in an exhibit at the Creative Alliance. Our Casey Baylor spoke to the photographers behind the lens as they took a look back on some of the moments shaping our city's history.
Each frame shares just a piece of the story behind the protests after the arrest of Freddie Gray.
So I'm shooting this and he runs past me. I'm like, where's he going?
West Baltimore native and artist Devin Allen can recount each memory from each shot he took during days of unrest in Baltimore.
The goal was to control the narrative.
And quickly share what he says really happened every day on social media.
I took my little camera with Wi-Fi and the goal was to, do what Gordon Parks did and so many other artists and photographers did before me, tell our story in an honest way.
His images would later garner national attention, gracing the cover of Time magazine. Allen, who started photography a couple years prior, joined several other photographers capturing the calls for justice.
When Freddie Gray died and the city kind of rose up, it was like the kettle had boiled over.
Joe Giordano worked for the Baltimore City paper as a photo editor during that time and stood in the middle of peaceful protests and tense moments. At one point, phone video captured Giordano beaten by Baltimore City police officers.
He's a photographer!
Hey, look, man, I did my job, they did their job. And I got back up the next day and went back to work.
Stories captured through film now on display inside an exhibit at East Baltimore's Creative Alliance Theater. A documentary by Paul Abode, photos of daily protests taken by Allen.
Oh, this is one day.
And portraits of 6 community activists taken 5 years after Freddie Gray's death.
Each individual is a different part of that activist scene.
Giordano says these pictures remind him of their resilience.
Michaela, she was on the front, the front line. A lot of this wouldn't have been done without Shorty, but he's a big organizer. Kevin Moore is the one that took the original Freddie Gray arrest video.
And with a quick phone scan, you can hear their stories through interviews conducted by Giordano.
I really want you to listen to them talk and hopefully maybe build some empathy. The death of Freddie Gray kind of would polarize the city.
As the exhibit comes to a close, Allen hopes people feel the emotions he and many others felt 10 years ago. Most importantly, he hopes all walk away inspired.
I want people to leave angry. I want you to feel frustrated, but I also want you to leave a little bit lighter, knowing that you do have a skill somewhere in you that you can lend to the people, definitely in these times.
Reporting on your corner in East Baltimore, I'm Casey Baylor for WJZ.
And you can join us Monday, April 21st at 7 for Freddie Gray 10 years later as we look back at the events that unfolded 10 years ago and the unrest in Baltimore. We'll hear from faith leaders and community members as they reflect on what's changed and the work that still needs to be done.
I'm really looking forward to that special. Some great journalism going to be on display here, taking a look back.
Exactly, and hearing from the people.
All right, coming